G'day, you cheeky dogs. Today we're going to be breaking down all of the hidden details, Easter eggs, and Australian references in the new Bluey episode, Musical Statues.
This episode of Bluey is called Musical Statues.
Now, I have already done two separate videos, one specifically about all of the previous Bluey episodes that they reference in this episode.
Woo! Shake it, Chili!
Morning, Wendy!
Oh yeah, shake it, Chili!
As well as a breakdown of like the 18, 19 different dance moves that they do in this as well that are references to dance moves throughout the century. So if you want to check those videos out, make sure you do it after this video. But that's where those specific details are for each of those. Because if I add them into here, this video would have just been super duper long. But let's roll the intro and get into our traditional Easter eggs. G'day cheeky dogs, my name's Marky and I'm an Australian currently living in America. So we do actually see all of our traditional Easter eggs in this, our tennis balls, long dogs, Chattermax, and the pineapple. And at first, we didn't think that there was like a long dog in here, but there is, and it's so sneaky. The first long dog we see is the magnet on the fridge, and we've seen that one before. But the new long dog for this one can only be seen in one quick scene, and it is on the rug that's in the living room. You see it in one shot from above when Chili and Bluey are dancing, and in the corner, instead of like the normal little outline they have, is the little long dog instead. It is literally a blink and you'll miss it scene because it changes back after that. We also see 3 tennis balls, one in the front entrance, we see another one on the painting, and we see another one under the bench in the living room as well. Chattermax, of course, makes an appearance in the first intro scene. We can see him stuffed underneath the bench in the front entrance. And the pineapple we have is the chalkboard that we see in the kitchen, which we've seen before as well. Now, we have quite a few music Easter eggs and references in this as well, and I feel like one of the most obvious ones is the Ringo Healer reference.
Hold it right there, music fans. We've just had a song request come in from Ringo Healer.
Which at first, I thought was a Beatles reference, but I was so wrong. It is a Custard reference.
I feel like Ringo! Who do you dedicate this song to, Ringo?
For those of you who for some reason don't know, Custard is the name of the band that Bandit's voice actor, David McCormack, is in. And they have a song called Ringo. And I absolutely think that this is a reference to that for sure. And just such a really good like tie-in with Bandit's voice actor and with Bingo as well. Real quick, cheeky dogs, I just want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Morgan & Morgan. Now, when I first moved to the US, I was actually involved in a car accident because the city I was in did not seem to believe in speed limits, unlike Australia that is super strict. And I wish I had known what I had been entitled to at the time. Because if you are ever injured and you don't know where to start, with Morgan & Morgan, it is so easy. They have modernized the injury law process, making it so easy to submit a claim. You can sign contracts, upload documents, and medical records all from your cell phone. You can even text your legal team throughout your case rather than going to meetings as well. So if you are ever injured in an accident, then you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without ever having to leave your couch. For more information, you can go to forthepeople.com or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone. Okay, back to the video.
Well, all right. This one's going out to Ringo's sister, Louie.
Louie!
We also see on the phone like covers of the playlists or albums that they're playing, and one of them is a very specific one. It is quite obviously a reference to the album Dirty Dancing. We also see a sunrise one as well, and there's a lot of different sunrise options, but maybe this references a Neil Diamond cover. We also see a karaoke with a star, and this looks like just the standard karaoke playlist covers that you'd find on Spotify. We also know from Joff Bush as well that he had a lot of inspiration from Fatboy Slim for one of the music sections where Bandit starts to dance with everyone else.
Time to cut up a rug. Oh yeah, give it some of these ones.
We do also have 2 very specific Australian references as well. The first one is the green bag that Chili's holding as she comes in the front door. It is green and gold, which are the Australian colours, but of course it has a little Australia on it. And I definitely think this is a bit of a play on the Woolworths bag. Woolworths is basically like the biggest supermarket chain in Australia, and their bag is also green, but usually has a Woolworths symbol on it, but instead now they have the Australia symbol on it. The second Australia reference we get is for the state Queensland, which is the state that Bluey lives in. When they open the fridge door, there's the juice bottle in there, and up in the corner of the juice bottle is the outline of the state of Queensland. We have a couple little dog details in this as well. Back in the front entrance, if you zoom in on the keys, you can see that one of the keychain options is a little dog bone. Also, when you see Bandit using like that pre-workout powder, if you zoom in on it, it is quite obviously a greyhound that's on the front of it.
How fast can you run?
As fast as a greyhound.
How fast do you gotta run?
As fast as a greyhound.
Bit more greyhound talk than last time, but that's fine.
And of course, greyhounds run really fast. Bandit's about to go for a run.
I just need to go for a run.
Oh,
I'll play with you after dinner, okay?
yay!
So I love that kind of in-universe joke of like, you want to run as fast as a greyhound, which we saw back in the obstacle course.
How fast can you run?
As fast as a greyhound.
How fast are you gonna run?
As fast as a greyhound.
And so that's what's on the workout powder as well. We also see the dog print on the back of the phone instead of an Apple icon as well. Some extra little details though as well, as we find out Bluey's favorite song is I Love Cereal. And we know that Geoff Bush actually sung like the lyrics to this song too, which is really cool. And speaking of Geoff Bush as well, he mentioned on Twitter that the intro scene where we hear like the Bluey theme tune still being played.
Come on, Bluey, I have to get dinner started.
It's one of the first times that he's actually ever done this. We have heard the theme before in the show, like Chili's hummed it before and things like that, but this is the first time that they've specifically used it as music within the show. We do also see pictures of Whistler's mother and the postcard in the back, but I've already talked about this in previous season 3 breakdowns. I do love Bingo's idea of trying to understand what retirement is, basically.
Will there ever be a time when the weekend is forever?
A forever weekend, and that's basically the idea of retirement, that it's like a forever weekend, you don't go to work anymore, and her trying to grapple with that idea of does it even exist. So I liked that idea that they were trying to show kids trying to understand the idea of retirement.
Like, you could call it a forever weekend.
I do also think that when they were doing like the boogie trap, it's kind of a bit of a reference to the game Pong, because it very much looks like it, and the music as well is very like reflective of like that Atari music.
Bingo, get out of there!
I can't!
And then of course we have to talk about the color scheme. When you watch this episode straight away, you can tell that this is like twilight, like sunset in Queensland. It's those deep reds and oranges and yellows, and like the whole house has changed color basically to reflect that. But not only that, like it shows the progression of time. Like it starts off with that more like reddish tone for sunset, and then as they get further into the night, after they've like panned out and shown the house in the dark, it's more bluish tones instead to show that it's nighttime. And I love that they made that option because it's just so beautiful.
We're playing musical statues. Hooray! Musical statues!
Now, overall for me, this episode is probably a 3.75 out of 5 long dogs. I did enjoy it. I did think the Easter eggs were really fun, but I personally love more like universe expansive type episodes where we learn more Bluey lore, whereas this episode was fun and had lots of Easter eggs in it. But I think it's one of those just like family fun episodes for, yeah, totally being relatable, for not knowing what to do at the end of the day, not knowing what to cook. So it kind of fits into that category for me.
What's for dinner?
Cereal!
But of course, I will have more videos coming out with all the Easter eggs from these 10 different episodes, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as that bell for notifications so you know when those videos come out. But until then, cheeky dogs, I have picked you out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I will see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye!